with Timmy Hansen, older brother of young Kevin, ahead of Chris Mullen, last year's champion, and Phil Sherwood. So let's look at the Suzuki Swift heats from Mallory Park. A tremendous start from Tristan Ovenden, charges into the lead ahead of Johnny Bean. Ovenden leading with Bean charging hard, and he hits the tyres. Surely that's damaged the car. Pat Duran getting stuck in the 21 car. New to the Swift, so there's contact. Sherwood goes round. Terry Grant, new to the series, has a problem. He's slowing down. And James Knight Coney sends it down the inside, loses the back end, clatters into the tyres. Rallycross Championship round 2 from Mallory Park, about to see the Suzuki Swifts in action, and on pole position it's our championship leader Graham Rodemark after a solid set of heats. Alongside him is the #1 car of last year's champion Chris Mullen, and next to him Tristan Ovenden, who's right in the mix in the championship and of course on the pace here at Mallory Park. It'll be interesting to see what newcomers Pat Duran and Terry Grant can do, two legends of motorsport. As we head away at the start, they all scrabble for grip. Terry Grant we just saw on the left as the shot as they went away, but it is Rodemark, Mullen, Ovenden and Knight Coney in the blue and yellow car, the 83 car, that get the best of the starts. Pat Duran, meanwhile, very, very late on the brakes, trying to go round the outside, but drama at the start. It's Rodemark over. Absolutely spectacular. Hope he's okay, that's the most important thing, but the rest of the drivers, Chris Fruru and Maynard just edging away. Now, at least the car's moving, so he's clearly okay. So let's have another look and see if we can work out what caused this dramatic exit for Rodemark. Gets on the brakes, there's a tap from behind. He then goes sideways into the tyres, and that's just enough to flick the car up and over. Everybody somehow scrabbles by. Have a chance to see this from another angle, I think. Here we go, looking at it into turn 1. Knight Coney, I think, just taps into the back, pushes him a little bit sideways, and he's very light at the rear of the car, of course, and over and out goes Graham Rodemark. So at the front, it is Pat Duran now, who's got himself right into the mix of the action. Just behind him, Terry Grant. You know, we used to seeing Terry do some very spectacular stunts, a world record holder, and in all kinds of different categories. One of the most skillful stunt drivers in the world. Pat Duran, of course, a legend in Rallycross, 3 times champion, but never driven a front-wheel drive Rallycross car before. So for both Grant and for Duran, a very new experience all round. Terry, of course, was racing in the Legends Series, amongst other things, back in the day. So tremendous to see these two guys scrapping hard at the front, and of course the regular drivers like Tristan Ovenden and James Knight Coney not giving them an easy time of it. I'm sure they're determined as ever to try and take the fight all the way to the end of this race. Ovenden, of course, was runner-up at the opening round at Linden Hill. Terry Grant, meanwhile, very heavily involved with the guys at Monster Energy, hence we're seeing him racing here this weekend. It'd be lovely to see him racing regularly, but he's a very busy man, so it may not be possible. Pat Duran, though, because the relegated car isn't available that he usually rallycrosses. It's good to see him racing something, a bit of an unusual line there for Terry. A bit of contact with Knight Coney as well. Hopefully no damage there. Is that a puncher, though? I didn't quite see the angle, whether they picked up a puncher on the front left for Terry Grant. But Pat Duran is going to be absolutely delighted with that. A superb drive. Fantastic performance. He heads home, Tristan Ovenden, and then just behind it, Knight Coney and Terry Grant. So here's a replay of what happened to Terry. Loses the back end slightly. He has to then rely on that awesome car control and flicks it one way or the other. Looks like he's looking down. Maybe he had a gearbox problem of some sort. Looked like he was struggling to get a gear. So this is what the results look like. A tremendous debut performance from Pat Duran, who wins ahead of Tristan Ovenden, James Knight Coney, Terry Grant and Chris Mullen in 5th. Behind them it was Phil Sherwood, Chris Fruru, Rob Maynard in 8th, and of course Graham Rodemark not finishing.